welcome to Antique and Garden Showcase. Today we're going to talk a little bit about installation of drip systems. Now, I am by no means an expert. This is a one-off for me, so this is like drip system 101 from the beginning. I actually purchased a kit at a local store here called Ollie's. It's a buyout store. They had some Scott's drip kit starter kits, and I quickly found that I needed to add to that, and I'll tell you how I added to that particular kit as we move along. But as I said, I'm not a professional at doing this anyway. This is just kind of a test run for me as a homeowner, and I hope that you can look at this. Maybe you can gain some knowledge from this too, and you can put together something for your home that works as well too. So we're going to take a look at the drip system and some of the things that I worked on with that. So follow me around front, and we're going to look at that from the beginning to the end. So here we are with the drip system, and we're going to start right here at the beginning of the source at the faucet. In the kit, there are two pieces that come with it. There's a flow reducer, which is here, with a quick connect that goes on the faucet. So you put your quick connect on, you clamp your flow reducer into that, and then you attach your drip line right to the bottom of that. So that's the first three steps. Attach your quick connect, flow reducer, and then where you want your line to start. Now, one of the things that I didn't know whenever I first started was how long these could be, whatever. I was watching another video, and I heard that 100 feet on 1/4 inch tubing is plenty, up to 30 pots max. So I think I'm pretty much in the realm of that. This drip tube has not been buried yet, so I've got it here just to be in test mode right now to make sure everything's going. But I had to take it off across the porch. So it goes all the way across the porch. And then from there, it goes straight behind and all the way out down that wall. So I think I am within my 100 feet. I hope. If not, I'm really, really close. So going back, and I don't really know what else to do but to leave this laying here. There's no really good way to hide this, and I had no option there because I wanted everything out here on drip. I didn't want to leave anything out because that kind of defeats the purpose. So the first one, I have the urn. You can see the black drip line running here. I scored out a small spot under here, run the drip line up through the urn, through the bottom, and it's plugged in. And you can see, if you look right here, you can see the little drippers. I've got two of them here, one on each side. Those seem to be working great. This pot was smaller. I've got one dripper in it, which is kind of hidden back in there. But I found that this pot fills up really quickly. So what I did with it was I put a valve on there, a shut-off valve, or actually a flow control valve right here, and that helps either reduce or turn off this pot if it's getting too much water. And some of these things under the porch don't need to be watered as often, so I did the same thing with all the rest of them, including these urns. They stay partially shaded, so they don't use as much water or have as much water pulled out of the pot during the daytime. So they also have flow control and shut off valve on the back as well, each one of those. Same thing here, run through the bottom. I scored out the bottom where these are sitting. There's the flow control valve there. This pot, I did the same thing. I ran it through the bottom. I actually ran the tube under the table and around the leg, and right here I have another flow control valve or shut off that I can control that one as well. Moving along, same thing with this urn. I've got the line coming off the main line right around through here. Goes underneath the urn, up through it. This pot connects up to it. And the drippers are slowly getting hidden by these supertunias in here. As we go on around, I'm going to take, I'm going to go back around this way. You can take a little tour with me as we go. You can see the new beds coming along, the new formal area. The grass is not coming up, but we're starting to get a little rain here, so maybe that'll help. I'm going to go on the other side of the wall to make more sense. The line runs all the way down right behind the wall all the way up through here and around. Now unfortunately I didn't get these pots right here hooked in prior to putting the drip system, so I've kind of got that dangly drip tube hanging out the back, but this one's got 2 drippers. It's working really well hooked in. These smaller pots here, I put a single dripper in. That's working well for them. No flow controls or anything needed. Same here. You can see 1 dripper in the middle there, 1 on this one. Here's where I ran into an issue: long pots. And I think I've got a way to fix it. I did a temp fix on it the other night, and I'm still not liking the way that's working too well. It has 3 drippers. There's 1 here, 1 here, and 1 here. And what I've noticed is that the pipe comes up, it dead ends at this dripper. And I mean, these are not dripping, they are just full on pouring out water. So I put in a flow control valve to try to help that the other night. And that does help, but it's not perfect. But I watch a lot of Garden Answer, and if you watch a lot of Garden Answer too, you know that when she does her drip, she connects it back into the tube for a better flow. And I think that's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to actually go back on the end, pull this dripper off, connect back on, put a loop in. That way it might be a little bit more, not as much pressure coming through here. I'm having the same problem with all 3 of these pots, and they were all done the same way. I put flow control valves on all of them, and that helps, but it's still not perfect. I did, however, after I did these first, and then I did this one the other day, and it was too heavy. I had to run the drip cord behind it, but all this stuff's going to be hidden by the plants not too long. This one has inline drippers, something that I found at the local Lowe store. They're little discs that you plug in. And that little red disc you're seeing right there, you just plug one side of your drip line into it and the other side goes out, and it's got a little hole in it and it drips. I've got 3 of those around through there, and this pot's working beautifully. I'm not having any issues whatsoever and getting perfect coverage. And as you can see, it hooks back in. It makes a perfect loop. So I think the perfect loop is the key to getting these to do exactly what you want them to do. So I think these are going to have to be modified just a little bit. You know, it's like I said, everything here is an experiment because this was all new for me too. So up here, everything here is working well. Single drippers on these smaller pots, doing the job, getting the job done. Dual drippers out here have been working perfectly. So that's a little tour. Your local hardware store will have a lot of the pieces you need. Now I started with a kit from Ollie's, and I bought 1 kit. I went back and I bought another kit, and I thought, this is getting kind of crazy. I'm buying kit after kit and I'm getting multiple pieces of things I don't need. So I went to my local Lowe store and found that, you know, buying the individual pieces was a whole lot cheaper. You could get exactly what you needed to fit and outfit those pots the way that they should be. So that's pretty much it. That's a little bit of Drip 101. And if you got questions, you know, you can always put it in the comments, or you can message info at Antique and Garden Showcase. I'll be glad to talk to you about what I did. And while we're out here, I just planted these yesterday. These are my chocolate cherry geraniums I started back earlier in the year under my grow lights. Love those leaves. Look at those leaves. They are like dark chocolate, and they'll have the prettiest like scarlet red blooms on those. All right, and that's a little bit of the drip system. Thanks again for watching the video on Drip System 101 with Antique and Garden Showcase. Like I said, I'm no way a professional at doing this. This is just a first attempt for a homeowner to see how I can simplify my life a little bit and not have to carry so much water around to all these pots every night, because it gets to be quite a chore every day when the heat turns on here in central Kentucky in the 6B climate zone with all the humidity. I mean, it's just a constant. One other thing that might help this too, once the weather gets really warm, we're starting to break the 80s next week. I've got a timer that I'm going to put this system on that will water it at different intervals in the day. If you want it midday, you know, evening, morning, whatever, I can do that with the timer. I didn't put that in the video because that's something I haven't set up or even messed around with yet. Another option you can do, if you've got more than 100 feet, you can get timers that have multiple outlets, and you can do more than one zone. I just wanted to keep this down to one zone right now, like I said, just to see how this works out this year. And it's easy to add on and put another one on. If I wanted to go the other direction around the other side of the house, I could do that very easily with this system. Just add a different timer with 2 zones to it. So drip systems, it's pretty easy. If you follow directions. It does take time, it does take planning, and those are the things that you'll need to look at. The kits are wonderful to start off with. I found mine, like I said, at a local Ollie store. There are others available online. I think Proven Winners makes a watering kit that I've heard is really well, so you might even check that out if you're not able to find anything locally. Also, you can, if you feel inclined to do so, you can go to your local hardware store and try to put one together yourself with the products that are available there. So thanks again for watching Antique and Garden Showcase. I look forward to seeing you again in future videos. Please subscribe to, below so you can get all of our updates. Hit that bell so you'll get the notifications. And as always, thank you for watching. Have a great day. Bye.